right. That's right. It is kneecap biting with the Motor City Lions. I renamed it for one reason. It looks like the YouTube is starting to crack down on any YouTuber with an actual NFL team name in it. As far as the full name, like Detroit Lions or Kansas City Chiefs or any of that. My buddy David Pike had his page totally removed while he was monetized. So, that being said, we're the Motor City Lions here. So, how's everybody feel on a Victory Monday?
Awesome.
Great.
Nathan?
I'm feeling great, man. Always good to get a dub on Sunday and a victory Monday.
Oh, Donkey Kong's in there saying, "What's up, Jeremy? How you doing there, Mark?" And Richard Head says, "Victory Monday. Let's fucking go."
Brian Branch.
Thank God they were
Dog.
like, yeah. We'll get into that in a minute. But overall, what is your summary there, Neil? Oh, you're muted. Looks like you're muted on your end, buddy.
Oh, my bad. My summary is our run defense is legit.
Yes.
Legit.
Yeah.
Man, when they put Biggs back in that game, man, them 7 sacks get the king, man. Don't take him out the game no more.
Right.
Him and Lee McNeil was up there doing work.
Yes, sir.
Work. Charles
We got,
Harris.
we got Lee Hornbill still in here.
Real.
Smoking Dad, Ken Ballrick pops in and says, "Man, the defense was amazing."
Out there eating like dogs, man. They out
Patty
there like hungry
Grimes is
dogs,
here.
man. For real.
And Will
Loved it, man.
Vogue says Hutch was feeding. What was your thoughts on it, Keegan?
I would say awesome defense. I say Glenn heard us talking and he amped it up.
I don't know. In my article, I specifically called out the fact that we have been refusing to stunt the defense at all. I had called out that we weren't dialing up the exotic pressures. We weren't doing anything other than our base defense 90% of the time in those two games. And that's what beat us against the Seahawks. He made an adjustment in the second half of the Chiefs game, and it worked. But he didn't adjust at all in the Seattle game, and it confounded me. I am not going to apologize for what I said because the pressure rate the first two games was equal or less than any pressure rate that a Matt Patricia defense ever put up.
See, I'm the one that was out here offending Aaron Glenn. I was telling everybody, just calm down.
No, I'm not gonna apologize for what I said though because
we just
the
held the
numbers said
Chiefs
it.
to 20 points. Like, check our last games coming into this season. Like, our defense stepped up. Calm down. And I'm glad he came out and did what he did because he was gonna make me look stupid. Because if we would have lost this game, everybody would have been saying it's time to fire Aaron Glenn.
I was right there. I said
I know.
I gotta see something different. Nate, what was your takes from the game? Nathan?
You gotta use unleaded night diesel.
Oh, there he goes. You're muted, Nathan.
Can't hear you, bro.
You there, Nathan?
You're muted.
All right. That being said, let's go
Can't hear
into.
you, bro.
Yeah, we can't hear anything.
One thing I am gonna say, Sam Laporta.
Oh, Sam Laporta. Sam Laporta is a dude. That's all I got to say.
He was shitting on him. He was shitting on him. Man.
Okay.
He was costing us in the Seattle game. If we won the coin toss, we would have won the game. He didn't take Seattle seriously. A lot of people didn't take Seattle seriously. I was hearing people saying we were going to blow out Seattle. Seattle was a tougher team than what a lot of people was getting credit for. Like, and our coaching staff's right, did not make the second half adjustments and everything else like that. But you can't just put that all on Aaron Glenn, though, too. So, like, Aaron Glenn ain't playing defense. Aaron Glenn ain't out there making sacks. Aaron Glenn ain't out there covering corners. Aaron Glenn ain't Jerry Jacobs. You feel me? Like, even though he had a little better game in this game, but 6 penalties. What was you saying?
6
Yeah.
penalties for 79 yards on Jerry Jacobs. All
Bench him.
PI.
That's crazy. Like this, you put your
All
seatbelt on, Jacobs, man. We need you the same Jacobs we had last year, man. Come on, like
Well, the good news is, from what I saw today, Mosley was at practice, Decker's at practice, Montgomery's at practice.
Sounds
Those,
like we're heading in the right direction with injuries.
yes, those
I
3
think
alone are huge.
I think that's just from the will and the fight of the players. They hungry, man. Like nobody want to sit there and watch your brothers succeed, man. You want to be out there and be a part of that, man. And we finally got players that want to be a part of that, man. We got a win. Finally, for the first time, we can say we got a winning culture in Detroit, man. So,
Oh
like,
yeah, Jacobs
All
is
right, y'all. I'm back.
durable. There you go. Hey, what was your takes from the game overall?
So I'm gonna be real with y'all, okay? I mean, I've been a Lions fan a long time, and I'm gonna say this: was the defensive lights out on Sunday? Yes, it was. Did they play an inept quarterback? Yes, they did. Was the run defense stout? Yes, it was. Um, I was very encouraged by what I've seen so far. I really will be very more encouraged if we go into Lambeau and we shut down Jordan Love. Now, I'm not saying Jordan Love is a world beater or anything, but
if
let's be.
we going to Lambeau, we're gonna shut Lambeau down.
Well, I hope so. I really do. But here's the reality, y'all. I mean, Desmond Ritter is shit. Okay.
Okay.
Like Falcons need to start drafting a quarterback. Because they have a decent offense. They have a lot of good weapons. But Desmond Ritter is not a threat. And I think Aaron Glenn disrespected Ritter by saying, you know what, we're gonna make you throw. We're gonna put so much pressure on you that you're gonna have to get rid of that ball so quick. And they didn't respect his throwing ability. And so, hey, it is what it is.
Actually,
we get a break.
we did exactly what we were supposed to do, and I said it in my preview article.
Yeah.
We put Cam Sutton on Drake London like a cheap suit. I said, let everybody else feast because Ritter ain't that guy. And that's exactly what they did. Mac Hollins had a 28-yard catch. Pitts had one for 26. Other than that, was there really a lot of names called?
No.
Mm-mm.
Tyson Algier had a nice screen pass where he got some yards and broke a couple tackles. And
Bijan ran over Anzalone in one play, and Rodrigo.
In the same play.
Oh,
It was both of them. It was Anzalone first, and then Rodrigo came and dove at him for a lunge tackle, had his arms out.
But
and
you see what Branch did? Branch went at his legs. That's how you tackle. You go at his legs.
But Bijan did the exact same thing to Rodrigo that Bo Jackson did in college to Prime. No, you got healed.
He ain't do his worse than he did the Packers defense, though. He was like,
I gotta say,
but Branch, that should not have been a penalty. He didn't
Not at all.
He didn't rip that helmet off. The helmet came off by the hit.
Yeah.
He put it.
And
if
then
you go back and watch the play, he put his head down.
Yeah.
Then the guy that got horse collared by Atlanta, that wasn't called, but yet they called it.
That was Branch again. That was Branch
again. Did you hear what his reaction was? Like, fuck it, I'll take the flag.
Right.
I love it.
But wait, I'm talking about the horse collar that wasn't called on Amon-Ra.
Easily, yes.
Detroit don't get calls. You know that we don't get calls. We've been fighting
NFL
with
we got a
consistency,
few.
Man. Lacks consistency.
We've been fighting with the referee since Barry left, man. Like, you know the refs don't give us calls, man.
Okay, as soon as Rodgers had won his third straight over Chicago after their last win, you remember what they started calling Soldier Field? Lambeau South.
Lambeau South.
When we storm into Green Bay and win this Thursday, does that mean we get to call it Ford Field North?
Fuck yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I call that the Lions kitty litter box. Like,
no, we're going to call it Ford Field North from here on out if we beat them in their house again.
I'm telling you right now, y'all, if we go into Lambeau on Thursday night in a short week and we beat the Packers, we will win the division, hands down.
Honestly, I don't see why everyone's hyping up the Packers. They've made fourth quarter comebacks. If we can keep them Without them taking a fourth quarter comeback, we will win.
That being said, I'm going to give them their props for one thing. They did what they had to do to beat the Saints, who had a 17-point lead going into the fourth quarter.
Right.
Granted, had they had Derek Carr still playing as quarterback for the Saints,
Probably
they'd
would have
never
won.
had they never
Right.
would have had that chance. Because
Yeah.
Derek Carr was 13 of 18 for 103 yards and a tutty to ancient tight end receiver Jimmy Graham, a former
Yeah.
Packer who had to score that touchdown to look legit.
Not only that, I don't even break it on. I don't even blame it on Derek Carr going down, because if you go back and watch, they still had a chance to win that game. The Saints did if they would have made that fucking kick.
Yeah, but that's because Jameis Winston didn't put him in the best position for that field goal, remember? They were on the wrong side of the field where the guy made the field goals earlier in the game, and he had him on the opposite side of the field, and he threw it the wrong way, and it was incomplete, so it left him on the wrong side. That should have been
Right.
a run back to the middle of the field
Mhm.
or to
Exactly.
the opposite side.
You can't blame that on Jameis Winston. You got to blame that on coaches for not running the right play.
You got to blame it
Couldn't
on
go-
the decision making of throwing a bad pass into triple coverage.
That's
You also got to put your players in the best position.
I'm sorry. I said watch. It's 17-0. Carr just got hurt. Packers are going to win this game because 30 for 30 is playing at quarterback.
Yes.
exactly.
Do you know who 30 for 30 is? That's
Mr. Crableg
Jameis.
Winston.
30 touchdowns, 30
30.
interceptions. 30 for 30.
I call him Mr. Crab Legs.
But that being said, if the report is right that I saw today, Packers are in trouble still. Watson's out. Jair Alexander's out. Bakhtiari's out. His backup tackle, Zach Tom, is out. Their starting guard that they just signed, Edgar Jenkins, he's out.
But isn't today like a Wednesday, kind of like, you know, like a lot of people end up on the injury report on Wednesdays?
There
and
was
then
only
Thursday,
one
then
guy
Friday?
in there that they said it was rest because he might be able to come back, and that was Aaron Jones. And it was limited practice for him.
Aaron Jones. Gonna
That's
play.
why when they keep saying, if we win, we going to Lambeau, bro. We gonna beat.
I,
We
I
gonna
hope
beat
so,
them.
man. I hope
I don't
so.
like
That's
being
a huge
I don't like
statement.
being a homer. I'm a fuck the
Nick.
Green Bay Packers guy. Matter of fact,
Amen.
FTP.
FTP.
We are sponsored by
FTP.
FTP, and that is not the florist. That's fuck the Packers.
Nate, look at me in my eyes when I
Green
tell
and
you this,
yellow,
bro.
green and yellow together looks like shit.
We gonna beat Green Bay. Nate, look at me in my eyes when I tell you this. We gonna beat Green Bay, bro. I guarantee that, bro. Guarantee it.
I'm with you, man. Like, the only thing, okay, here's my thing. The only thing that worries me is that the defense has such a great fucking game, like pressure, coverage, everything you wanted in the Lions defense, they showed it on Sunday.
Yes, Lord, they
Can
did.
you replicate that in Lambeau on a short week?
I want to see them replicate it,
That's my
period.
question.
I want to see us replicate it, period. Because as you said earlier, we had a good game plan against the Chiefs. We fell apart versus Seattle. We get a great game plan and execute it great versus Atlanta. We cannot have a down defensive game day this week. We can't. If we have a down defensive game, it's going to be bad. That's all I'm going to say.
Jeremy, playing the Chiefs, first game of the year, where everybody's watching, and you know, and you got all this hype during the offseason. When they won that game, no lie, they got big-headed. So when we did play Seattle, and we got beat by Seattle, it was like getting kicked in the nuts. And
It was.
reality. So now we going to Lambeau after having just crushed Atlanta with that momentum where Dan Campbell ain't gonna let him get big
We're
headed.
gonna crotch kick Jordan Love, and then we say, you know why?
Like Sewell said, okay, that all the hype is done. Now we can stop talking. It's time to work.
Right.
The boys out there, it's time to work.
They need to keep that attitude and do it again this week, is all I'm saying. Now, it's midnight practices today and tomorrow because they don't want the guys gassed come Wednesday. That'll be their day off to travel over to Green Bay, have a day, go out to eat, whatever, get ready for the game.
Do walkthrough.
Lights out at 9 p.m. I don't care if it's 24 hours later we play. Lights out 9 p.m.
Yes, sir.
You know why? Because it's time to go back to work.
All I gotta say is consistency with Aaron Glenn is the thing I worry about because he's had games where he's had really good defensive games, and then he's had laughers after that. So
And that is one of the things that I called him out on in my article. You cannot have the inconsistencies on defense. You cannot
yeah,
have this level talent play this good and then have it play like dog shit the next week. That is what I
exactly.
meant in my article. You got to admit, 2020, we had one of the historically worst defenses in the league, correct?
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah.
And we were close to that in 2021 because we stripped anything that was that we thought was talent from the previous regime, ate a bunch
Right.
of dead cap, and was horrible on purpose because we knew we had the picks to make it up the next year, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So then we get that pick, we do that, we get everything going. Jameson, we picked Jameson, and we knew he was hurt. We knew he could be out 2/3 of the season right from rip. At best, he'd be ready by week 5, is what all the doctors said. At best, and all these people were buying into the hype of all the doctors that was talking before the season.
See, me and you was talking earlier before the show, and I think a big part of that, our defense, the way they played, and we got pressured but no sack, was because Bugs was out. When Lynn McNeil,
Oh yeah,
Lee McNeil got Isaiah Bugs next to him, I don't know what it is about them two.
Lee McNeil ate yesterday,
Yeah.
man. He was impactful.
And you know
like,
why
this
he
is the
ate?
Lee McNeil that we've been waiting for.
You know why he ate? Because he had his partner in crime over there next to him.
Yeah.
Who he I don't know. They got great communication or something. Whatever them two got going, they know how to do it, how to work together in these situations to make sure that one of them eat. You gonna put pressure on the quarterback, and I'm gonna.
Well, he's better than Benito Jones, that's for sure.
Yeah,
He's a lot better.
Burrito Jones.
Burrito Jones.
That being said, let's get into the top 5s. We're going to go over the offensive ones. Offensively. Come on. There we go.
Or the potty.
Laporta. Dan Skipper made it up there. For the 3 drives he was in, he was actually doing really good.
That's why.
Khalif Raymond. Jared
That's
Goff,
why he's
and
probably started
St.
right
Brown.
tackle.
He's not getting the start. He injured his hamstring, and he got demoted back to the practice squad.
Where was Jahmyr Gibbs at?
Skipper?
Jahmyr Gibbs was in the middle. Gibbs got it like a 68, which is actually decent. That's an average NFL starter. That's all you want to see out of a rookie.
4.7 yards.
Yeah.
And 4.7 yards per carry. We'll go over that in a minute.
Yeah, like.
But look at that. Let me clear this caption out real quick so we can see the bottom of this list.
Kabinda.
No.
Man, if your big butt don't get that 1 yard, bro, all you hear is man.
Remember, he was tackled for a 2-yard loss. The next play was a RPO wham play where Jared Goff scored from 3 yards out.
Somebody gonna tell me Jared Goff looked like Lamar Odom. I mean,
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson.
I saw that.
I was like, man, stop it.
But he had more. He had more.
He knew he wasn't supposed to score that touchdown. That's why he threw the ball in the crowd like that.
And all I know is Jared Goff has the ups of a pregnant elephant.
What?
He's got the ups, the jumping capability of a pregnant elephant.
Oh, yeah, he couldn't even get in the crowd. You see that?
Yeah.
But listen, I got to give it to Jared Goff about this. That man was out there spraying that football, man. The windows he was getting, like I said, like, before the second half, before the end of the half came to the end. That out route, he dropped that pass to St. Brown was a dime. He was dropping dimes out there, man.
Have y'all seen enough from Jared Goff to give him an extension?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes and no.
Yes.
Yes and no. You know what I want
to
see?
He ain't been throwing no ducks.
He threw a couple. They ended up being picks. But granted, the one he was hit, the other one, the guy was not even close to hitting him. So let's look at it this way. With the market that the QBs are right now, is he a $50 million QB?
Is he ranked top 5 in the NFC?
In the NFC, yes. In the NFL,
top 10 in the
no.
NFL? Is he top 10 in the NFL?
Right at 10th right now.
Pay that man.
I'm dead set against paying any quarterback that amount of money.
Yeah. You see Joe Burrow.
Wait. Here I'm going to tell you why. There has not been a team that has paid more than 18% for any quarterback that's made the Super Bowl and won it.
See, I can see Jared Goff coming back here on a friendly team deal though, because he loved Detroit, he loved Dan Campbell, and they're like,
Well,
he gonna get some
he's
money,
gonna
but I
have
just
to
don't think he's gonna
because of
break
the
the bank
players we
with his
have to
money.
re-sign at some point and give
I
extensions to.
don't think he's gonna want us to break the bank because if he break the bank, he ain't gonna have the weapons around him for him to succeed.
I hope you're right, man. I hope you are. I think
Brock
Jared Goff
Wright.
is a humble guy, so I think you might be right on that.
Brock Wright had two targets that hit him right in the hands, and he dropped, which is uncharacteristic for him.
Right.
Where's James Mitchell at?
He's not even playing.
Mr. Leonard saying, "JB."
I will say this about Goff, man. He's got to stop throwing the interceptions, man. That's 2 games in a row with interceptions.
Now, he did say that this one, the ball slipped out, and it actually looked like it because it was a wounded duck. It sailed. Be it is. He said it was the worst pass he's thrown in 3 years, and I completely agree with that. With the way it looked.
He's taking accountability for it, so he know what he like.
Yeah.
When he got picked,
I mean,
And then he missed Leaf on that wide open play too. That was uncharacteristic of Goff.
Yep.
Usually really good on the deep ball.
But when you're under pressure, it forces a quarterback to make mistakes.
Sure.
Both plays he's thrown picks has been under pressure. So I'm going to take that and just say that happens in the NFL because it does.
Unless you're Dak, you just throw it
Now,
everywhere.
let's go over the top 5 and the bottom 5, and I'm going to disagree with the bottom 5 on one guy because he actually made a play this game.
Me and you both do.
How do you put Benito Jones and Derek Barnes in the bottom 5? Both of them had sacks. Both of them were making plays this game. Benito Jones, do you want to know when he made plays? I can tell you the exact formation. We had 5 down linemen. Hutchinson on one side, the other D-end on the other side, and the 3 defensive tackles. When you're lining up 5 D linemen on 5 O linemen, they cannot double team anybody. That is why the sacks started to happen. Bugs being in was so huge for this defense.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I agree with the Brian Branch, Aleem McNeil, if he's played up.
And
that's the one
thing. I like that's why I like when we brought back Romeo. Like when I was like, oh, he got them Jordans on, he could jump. He tapped the ball and had that Tracy Walker interception. Tracy Walker, you owe me 2 interceptions.
But
you owe me 2.
He owes us 3. 2 of them hit him direct in the hands. The other one, he kind of was like out of sorts and off balance, so he bobbled it. But 2 of them hit him right in the hands. 1 in the chest, 1 in the hands. You can't drop those.
And that's the one thing. And that's the one thing about Bugs is he's never gonna really fill up the stat sheet. But man, he's impactful when you look at the need on the D line. Like he's a big body. He can move. You know, maybe once in a while he'll get you a sack. But man, he's just impactful because it helps Mac out. You know,
right?
They work in unison with each other.
Here's the thing: Bugs is a 300+ pounder.
Exactly.
All the other guys we've had at D tackle next to Aleem McNeil are under 300.
Benito Jones is under 300. That guy.
I thought he's like 298, but he's short.
Okay.
He's short. He's just short and stout. He's not big.
Yeah,
like
Bugs
Bugs
got some girth. He got some size,
and
man.
That is why I am also confounded by the fact that Broderick Martin for the 3rd straight week was a healthy scratch when he's our biggest D tackle. That makes no sense to me. You put him in, he's a space eater. Just like Bugs, just like McNeil.
He just must not be doing it in practice, man. That's the only thing I can think of. I mean,
they keep saying he's doing well in practice, so I don't understand why they're scratching him. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe they just like the other guys over him.
The coach can't use coach speak to try and talk somebody up and then not play him is my problem.
They might just like the other guys over him. You know, this regime does favor some players that make us scratch our head. Cabinda, Harris, Anzalone sometimes, you know. Like it just makes you kind of go like
sometimes
I don't get it, but whatever.
Like I a lot of like I keep telling somebody like they because a lot of people are like, whoa, why ain't we starting Jack Campbell? I don't have no problem with they start Angelo. I just feel like they use the wrong people during the wrong personnel during certain times.
Hey, Jack did get a sack.
Down, I don't understand.
He did get a sack on the edge.
Yeah, but I don't understand is like on 3rd down, Jack Campbell was the best covering linebacker coming out of college. Why on 3rd down you got this man not on the field covering?
I mean, just saying,
I don't
you
understand that.
hear from Dan Campbell, you hear from Aaron Glenn, and when they talk about the players, this guy's doing well and this guy's doing well. I don't understand. If they say that he's doing well, why aren't they playing him? I just don't understand that philosophy. I don't understand saving somebody. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Talk about. I don't understand. I'm watching the Bucks and Eagles, and they just ran the ball at the 1 yard line of their own and got a safety.
Who
I
did?
can't believe the
Bucks
Bucks.
did.
The Bucks. They just picked off.
Yeah.
They
And Matthew
they picked
Stafford
off
just threw an
Hurts,
interception.
and they got the ball at the 1 yard line, and they literally ran a power an I formation and got a safety on the 1 yard line.
No, I didn't talk about Campbell. I don't mind Campbell being where he's at. It's allowing him to grow and get
Right.
better every game. He is getting the second most snaps of any linebacker not named Anzalone. It's him, Barnes, then Campbell.
And I don't agree on Campbell is getting outplayed by Angeloni.
No,
because
Angelone's
Angeloni
earned
got one
his
sack during that
spot.
Seattle
He's earned his spot.
Yeah, he counted, but he ain't outplaying. Like, it ain't like he just outplaying Campbell to the point where you can't
No.
even have this argument.
I think this slowly but surely, Campbell will end up in the starting roster.
I'm gonna say this, that I think after this year, if Campbell does get into that spot, I think Anzalone, they're gonna move off from Anzalone. I
They
think
can't.
the future is
They just
Barnes
re-signed him to
and
a 3-year
Campbell.
contract, and the dead cap will still be too big in second year.
I still think our best two linebackers,
Or maybe
is
trade
Barnes
him. I don't
and
know.
Campbell.
Maybe trade
Yeah,
him.
I think you'd have to wait till after June 1st and trade him then. It won't be prior to the draft because of the
Right.
dead cap situation. The dead cap lessens at June 1st in
Yeah.
the second year of a 3-year contract.
But the future is Barnes and Campbell. I think we.
But I'm sorry to tell y'all this, but they're not trading Anzalone. That's their guy.
Yeah, it's Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn's guy.
They're not getting rid of.
But if Jack starts
That's
popping,
their
you gotta.
guy.
I mean, you don't play three linebackers unless you go to 4-3. You don't play three linebackers, so you're gonna put your best guys out there.
They're just gonna make him sit and wait. They're gonna make him sit and wait because Anzalone's
But if
their
Jack
guy.
Campbell's coming in and making impactful plays, you're not sitting this guy over Anzalone. I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
Period.
It's same with Barnes. Barnes has been a great run stuffer for us, and
Yeah.
he got a sack. But he was a pass rushing DN for his first 3 years at Purdue and got moved to linebacker due to injuries.
Yeah, he's learning.
So he's
You
still
like it.
learning it. And
I feel like
I
he
saw
finally
it
learned
last year after Malcolm got hurt with that arm injury that sidelined him for 2 games. I think it was week 14 when he got hurt. Barnes took over that starting role and basically told Rodrigo, "Fuck you, I ain't giving it up."
Right.
You realize the way that we've been seeing Anzalone is run defense right now.
Yeah.
We're using him on run defense, which means when we're passing, Campbell is in. Campbell is the better passing linebacker.
maybe Campbell and Anzalone in, but Derek Barnes be out when it's passing
and
defense.
this is the one.
Anzalone don't come off that field.
What's
really.
the one
He
thing
don't.
let's get into something that, they're talking about, damn, Swift carries for 119 yards already. What did I
Yeah.
say was the one thing Minnesota was going to miss this year? More than on their offense. What was
Cook.
the one thing I said? Yeah,
Cook. That running back.
Cook.
Oh.
Cook.
I said what he means to that offense is way more than Alexander Madison, because Cook requires teams to put 8 men in a box.
Yeah, and he's got burst. He's got burst
Dalvin
too.
Cook,
He's
not
got
Dalvin
home run
Cook.
speed.
Dalvin Cook.
Right, and he can break tackles. Alex Madison, what has he done since he's been a starter? He's leading the league in fumbles at the running back position.
All you gotta know is that's why they got Akers. That's all you gotta know.
And then Akers is probably going to fumble too, because he had that problem with the Rams. They wouldn't have been willing to move on if he was
Man, you
great.
see
Yeah, I'm
Think about
loving
that.
I'm loving what our counterparts are doing in the division. It's just making me smile every day.
And Poles overpaying for 2 linebackers when they could have just packaged it all and give it to Roquan Smith, who's a game changer. It looks like they overpaid for those 2 linebackers at $40 million apiece over those 3-year contracts, right?
Shows you money doesn't buy you everything.
Because guess what? Tremaine Edwards and TJ, guess where they're ranked as far as starting linebackers in the league? Bottom 10 out of
In
all
the
the
bottom?
starting
Jeremy,
linebackers.
can we just really quick give Brad Holmes some love, man?
Oh, I
Like,
love Brand Holmes and give him a lot of love. His UDFAs, when they come in, usually are
I
balling out. Every
mean,
now and
what
then they
the
make
fuck,
mistakes.
man?
Our rookies in the first 2 rounds right now are showing out.
I
All our rookies are
Yeah,
There
showing
we
even
out.
go.
Kobe played some.
Gibbs was better than Robinson. Laporta potty out there shitting on people like they had an affair in a public bathroom. Brian Bench out there hitting stuff, taking back interceptions and everything else like that. Like, I don't know what's going on with James Mitchell, but a lot of the draft picks he got is hitting though. Like,
All
get
right.
Brad Holmes.
Now let's
He's
talk.
batting more than
Y'all gotta give
50% or
AG his
60%
credit.
on his draft picks.
Y'all gotta give AG his credit too.
I
All
know.
the stuff
I
they talk
said
about
he
him
called a
when
great
when he
game plan
back,
this
give him his
week.
credit. When credit is due, give his shout out to AG. I got your back, bro. I
You
got
can
your
have his back,
back.
but I have seen the inconsistencies for 2 years and 3 weeks now.
That's his knock. That's his knock, man. He just needs to be more consistent.
Leonard, you said Laporta was probably the best tight end in this draft and may end up being one of the best tight ends ever. Isn't that what you said to me, Leonard? But
Laporta's
anyways,
the man.
let's look at this. Total yards. Atlanta, 183 yards. Lions, 358.
That was
That-
with some bad offense too. I mean, our
Yeah.
offense wasn't good at all.
How much rushing yards? Say the
Wait a
rushing
minute,
yards.
wait.
Say the
First,
rushing
I'm going
yards.
to go
for
on
me.
to
Say the
next
rushing
passing yards. 139 passing yards, 243 for the Lions. Rushing yards, total yards, when you take away all the tackles for loss and the sacks, 44 rushing yards as a team.
44.
Rushing yards for the Lions, 119. 3 of them being Goff, 80 of them being Gibbs. Total yards per play, 2.8 yards for the Falcons, 5.6 for the Lions. That's actually a really good average, and that's up higher than we've seen in any game in a long time as average, because normally we were getting around 4.8 to 5.2 in our wins last year.
Hey, Jeremy, they when they asked some of the players after the game was over, were you surprised that Atlanta went away from the running game? I
No.
was too. I
wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised because we weren't giving up shit. And once they got 3 scores behind, once we scored that other field goal,
Well,
and
yeah,
they were
I mean,
3 scores
that makes
behind,
sense.
you can't run the ball because you can't afford to lose the time on the clock.
No,
You
I
have
get,
to
I
start
get that,
passing.
but even when they weren't down by that many points, they still were not running the ball. You know, they were trying to throw themselves back in the game, even when the deficit wasn't huge. Because that for a while, that game was very close. It was only a 7-point game. I mean, we were shitting all over ourselves in the offensive side. You know,
Dan Leonard says, "You pricks could have let Behan just score 1 touchdown, ruin another big payday." He had him in a parlay. I said, "You ruined your parlay." I told you ruined your parlay when you did it.
Lions before money, baby. Lions before money.
Had that.
Hey, you realized at the beginning of last season, we were going against the Eagles. We had amazing run defense throughout last year.
Not against the Eagles. We didn't. We gave up almost 200 yards on the ground.
Jalen Hurts
that
ran
game.
all over us.
Yeah.
Right.
Not only Hurts. What was the running back they had?
Miles Sanders and Barton Scott. Yeah.
He was balling on.
But anyways, Atlanta Falcons had 16 first downs. We had 18. Third down efficiency, and this is where we have to improve as a team going forward. Both teams were 4 of 14 on third down. That's awful. That's a little over 20, like almost 30%. That's all it is. Almost, not quite.
And we had a lot of manageable third downs. We just couldn't convert.
No, because in the first,
Kabinda couldn't get it. Then they did that end around with St. Brown, and
the one that should have been a horse collar.
Right.
Yes.
But fourth down efficiency, and this is my favorite one. Atlanta, 0 for 1. Lions 0 for 0 because we never went for one. Hallelujah, positional football. Somebody
Yes.
told Dan Campbell that there's only 4 downs, not 5. That being said,
Oh,
65 offensive plays total for Atlanta, 64 for the Lions. That's very telling right there,
yeah.
if you think about it.
And the total yard discrepancy, too.
Oh, here's the best part. 7 sacks allowed by the O-line of the Falcons. 0, my hero, for the Lions.
That's impressive.
And both teams punted 6 times. That was the most impressive stats to me of the game. What wasn't impressive was the penalties.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hey, Jeremy, I got a question. Can you give me? Can you look up his stats and see what was the average starter field position?
I will in a
For
minute.
each team?
I wanted to get this out. Atlanta had 4 penalties for 24 yards. One being a PI that gave him 4 yards. Remember that in the automatic first down?
Yep.
Because the guy just grabbed him and held him, and it should have been defensive holding and an automatic 5 yards in the first down. But I'm glad they called it PI and gave us 15. That being said, fumbles lost,
Shout out.
1 for them. Interceptions thrown, 1 for us. Here's the other biggest stat that was there. We weren't rushing anything. 32.57 minutes of possession for the Lions.
Woo.
That's how you control the clock, baby.
That's how you control the game.
And that's what we're gonna have to do against the Packers, man. Keep Jordan Love and his little band of brothers off the field.
Detroit punting 6 times could be a record for Campbell.
Shout out to Jack Fox, man.
Oh, yeah.
Jack Fox is
Boom.
legit, man.
Man, that's why I asked you what was the average the starting of the field position because man,
Their average tire.
the
Okay,
field position so
average
many
starting
times, man.
field position. Because I was just going over the Google stats from the game. I didn't get into the advanced ones yet.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, because that boy Fox, he put him. He
Yep.
was putting them
I
deep
think
where
they only
weren't
had the
getting
red
nothing
zone one
comfortable,
time. They
nothing
were only in the
short.
red zone one time the whole game.
and we stood them up.
Yep.
Man, Stafford just got licked.
James.
Play field position.
Average.
Dan Campbell, don't go for the full play field. Put your defense.
They should have a
on the field.
meme that says, Dan,
Like-
our punter's pretty fucking awesome, too.
James Vernon says, "Wait, I think the Dolphins just scored again."
Man,
Hey,
70.
one thing for sure. Mike McDaniels was the Broncos.
He was a ball boy.
Bubble.
Yeah, he was a ball boy.
You know that he was. He should have broke the record and kicked that field goal for the most points scored.
I don't know where to find
But-
that at. I just tried to look it up.
Broncos messed up when they didn't offer him that head coaching job, and he was pissed going there. That's why I think he scored 70 points on the Broncos. And Sean Payton was over there talking shit. So.
I'm still waiting for that formal video apology to Nathaniel Hackett from Sean Payton because the Broncos team is ass. Yeah,
Ass.
you guys,
And you listen. And
I
Russell
can't
Wilson ain't
find
the
my
problem this
glasses,
year.
so I ain't
so you
seeing
can't blame it on
shit
him.
in the chat. I ain't gonna lie.
Everybody's a problem in Denver right now.
He said he polished the ball and did. And
Did y'all see what Garrett Bowles said? He's like, man,
Hey,
I've been here
is it-
7 years and all we done is lost. I was like, huh, what kind of being a Lions fan for a while?
Yeah. It was bad for the whole state of Colorado. We had Colorado's college football team getting their ass kicked this week, and then the Denver Broncos getting their ass kicked. It was bad
Honestly,
for everybody in Denver in the state of state.
The
I
hiring
have
of
sympathy for
Peyton,
anybody who's not who hasn't been a Lions fan and knows the pain that we've been through. Everybody else can
Yeah.
suck a dick. Sorry.
the hiring of Peyton just gave the Broncos downfall.
Yeah, Peyton needs to shut his mouth and coach.
He won that one Super Bowl.
I
and
mean, I
he's
like
big
Sean Payton.
badass,
Sean
and he
Payton's
can do
a
whatever
good
he
coach. He's
wants.
just been mouthy lately.
He told Russell Wilson, "You ain't Jesus." Quick,
You know what? You know what's funny is I don't think he expected to be back in the NFL, and so he ran his mouth a lot, thinking that he was just going to be like an announcer or something like that. And then he's like, "Oh,
He was shitty
Yeah.
at it. He
right."
was a
But I'm
shitty
just
announcer.
saying, like, I don't think he expected to be back in the NFL, and then when he got a job, like, "Oh shit, I pissed off a lot of people when I said some of the stuff I said." Even Russ.
He reminds me of Deion Sanders.
So this week we got the Bears versus Broncos coming up next Sunday.
Toilet
And
bowl
here's
game.
wait, it gets better. Dolphins just put up 70 points. Yet the Broncos going to Chicago are a
As a favorites, yeah.
1.5 point favorite. Yeah.
Are you serious?
I mean, that doesn't surprise me. The Bears are ass,
It's just
and
it feels
and they're at home
MVP.
too.
Remember the
Yeah. Chicago's at home, which you get 3 points for being at home. So they expect naturally it to be a 4.5 favorite game for for Denver.
That's lit. Let's just say this: if Denver beats Chicago, what is the temperature of the Bears right now with Fields?
What you mean is what Fields? Oh, I'm about to say the whole organization right now is a dump to fire. They got
No,
robbed.
I'm not comparing that man to Prime. Stop.
I was.
Who was?
I was me.
That was
You're comparing
Villain
Branch
over
to
here.
Prime?
No, not Branch.
Who?
Peyton.
No, he was comparing Sean Payton
Because
to
he
Coach
talks
Bron.
his mouth. That's why.
Talks his mouth and hey, Deion talks his mouth, and they
Deion
got
back.
destroyed by
Wait.
Oregon.
He had a bad game against a really
But
wait.
besides this
He
one
had a
game-
bad game against a really good team in the Pac-12. Stop that nonsense right now, because I'll tell you what.
with the most
With no
experienced
running
quarterback
game,
in
they've
college
been
football right now,
beating teams.
And no O-line.
and their best player on offense and defense.
I'm
is
just
hurt
not.
right now,
I'm just
so-
not a favor. I'm not a favorite to Deion right now. That's all it is.
After one game, would you say in his
No,
last
I'm
week?
just saying overall. I'm just not.
Prime was one of
He's
the
not my
best.
favorite.
Best.
Deion's a motivator, man. He's
Yeah.
a motivator among men.
Man, yeah, I would follow him.
Oh,
No more.
USC probably is going to bowl over Colorado. That's another good team in the Pac-12. You know
Caleb
what I
Williams.
said? I know what
I
I said
think he go-
immediately when they hired Prime. I said they just went from 1 win to a 6 or 7 win team and being bowl
Oh,
eligible.
easily, just by the prime
Because-
factor.
And not only that, looking at who they play, there's only like 5 teams that they cannot beat.
Oh, the Pac-12 is
Mhm.
ass, man. I mean, they've always
And
been
next
ass.
year they'll be worse because
It's only
Oregon, Washington, USC, and UCLA will all be in the Big Ten.
There's only gonna be 2 teams
4
in the
teams.
Pac-12, right?
They should call themselves
Colorado's
the,
in the Big 12, yeah.
They should call themselves the Pac-4.
Hey, on a side note, real quick, Jeremy, like, are we at least a little concerned? And let's be real, guys. I know we're enjoying the humorous of the NFC North or NFL North right now, or NFC North. God, I can't talk today. But I sent you that mock draft screenshot where it said May and Williams were projected to go to the Vikings and the Bears. Are we ready for that mess in the division?
No, because you want to know what I'm waiting to see? I think Drake may end up being a Bear because as bad as the Bears are, I think they can beat the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
And as bad as the Vikings is, you can't say the Panthers are any better.
But
Yeah,
they just
but
drafted a quarterback.
I want the Panthers to win. There's a reason for it. You know why? Because otherwise,
Why?
the Bears could end up with the first and the second pick overall.
Oh God.
They could take both just to hedge their bets to make sure they get a quarterback.
Lately, I've seen him out.
Do you think
Come on.
anybody would trade for Fields?
If they moved him to running back, maybe.
Fields is in a bad situation
Say
too
what you
down in
want.
Chicago too.
Say
Don't talk about my Ohio State quarterback. He in a bad situation in
what you
Chicago,
want. It
man.
may be a bad situation, but he can't read a defense.
Yeah, he's a run guy, pass second
He
guy.
ain't got
Don't say he ain't had time, because last year the Bears were the 9th best at holding a pocket.
Oh, I'm not sticking up for the Bears. Let's not say that.
No, I'm just saying, don't stick up for Fields, because last year they were the 9th best at holding a pocket for their quarterback. 2.7 seconds was the average. When they say you got to get the ball out in 3 seconds, they ain't bullshitting. The problem is he goes 1 read, 2, oh shit, puts his head down and runs.
Exactly.
That's
'cause
the
he thinks
problem.
He's in high school. He thinks he's in high school again, where that's what they told him to do.
And CJ
Run,
Stroud,
run.
CJ
Right,
Stroud
CJ
playing
Stroud.
only 3 games has thrown for a third of the yards that Fields has
Well,
in his
yeah,
career.
because if you watch C.J. Stroud in college, he never ran the ball unless that national champion or that game in the playoffs where he did against Alabama.
Georgia.
I'm sorry, Georgia.
Georgia. It was Georgia.
I'm sorry, Georgia. But other than that, he's not a runner, man. He's more of a pass.
You know-
He's a pocket passer, but he can run. You know
Let me ask y'all a question. Y'all know what quarterback got the longest streak in the NFL right
what? Streak of what?
now? Justin Fields with 11 game losing streak.
That man couldn't lead a horse to drink water if it meant
Zach
a win.
Wilson.
No, it's Justin Fields
Oh,
with 11 game losing streak.
Hey, Tampa's looking for a quarterback.
Hey, after this game, they
No, they just scored a
Evans
touchdown.
threw
this
it, got a
game they might
touchdown.
be.
Hey, Edwards dropped one in the end zone earlier too. That was not on Baker Mayfield. That hit him right here in his
They got
hands.
the 2-point conversion.
So-
They're coming
I'm
back.
just talking about a long-term
Touchdowns.
quarterback.
Yeah. Ugh, I mean, if they didn't turn over the ball, the Eagles wouldn't be running away with this right now.
Yeah, it's
They've turned over the
25-9. I said the Eagles would win, but I didn't want them to.
Fuck the Eagles, man.
Yeah.
I hope they lose the rest of the year.
How was the other game?
It's
Yeah.
6-6
Ooh,
at
look at
halftime.
Mike Evans, man. I love that dude.
Oh, say what you want. Paco Nicao is the best receiver from this past draft.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Naku.
Hey,
Nicao, however you say it.
I watched him in BYU. He's good.
We didn't see much of JSN against us.
Yeah, JSN was pretty good.
No, I'm saying we didn't see that much of him against us.
No, because he hurt his wrist again. He had to go out of the game.
That sucks.
So, John, who
Well,
you
that
think
was
the-
great for us. I'm glad he wasn't in because it might have been worse.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeremy, I got a question for y'all. Who is y'all
Mhm.
offense and y'all defense player of the games on our team?
I have Brian Branch on defense, 100%. 11 tackles, 2 for loss, 2 pass breakups. That's one hell of a game for a rookie.
All you got to say is 11
Mhm.
tackles. How many solos was that?
He's like 5 or 6, I believe. So
Half his tackles were solos, and he had a good run stop on
Behind.
Bijan, man. He hit him right in the hole and wrapped up like he should have, like Rodrigo, my boy, should have done. Instead of he went high and then Bijan ran over his ass. That's Pee-wee football, man. You never go high on the running back. You always.
And that
go
was
low.
where I said Behan did his Bo Jackson impression of when Prime tried to tackle him.
Yeah.
He got
said,
11 solo tackles.
"Let you be
My bad, I was
healed. Get
wrong.
off me."
Well, I tell you what, man. You
Damn.
want to play defense, and you're coached under Nick Saban. Like, he don't play around. He's fundamentally sound guy, and if you can't tackle with the shit, you're not going to be on the field.
Yeah,
Here.
11.
He started as a freshman, didn't he?
Yeah, he started the star position, which is very unique for a player for Alabama's defense to start. So that tell you right there that he was a special guy, and now we're seeing it. The dude is amazing.
I agree with Will. Branch and Laporta.
Yeah.
As much as I want to give it to Laporta, I got to give it to Goff. The RPO. The RPO. The RPO wham play. Everybody says, "Oh, Goff's not athletic enough to run an RPO." And I said, "You know what that looked like? That looked like J-Mo took over the controller for Goff on Madden because that's how he made that guy rage quit on his stream."
Hey, Jeremy, you know what's funny is Goff said his worst throw was that interception. I actually think the worst throw was when he threw into the stands, man. You see the arm? Do you see that how shitty that throw was? He
I
didn't
don't
make it to
care.
the second
It got
row.
there.
Yeah, he was excited. Yeah, he was excited. I think
He just did one of these.
Yeah, honestly,
Come on now.
that just shows his arm. When we see JMO, you could see him throwing that deep ball to JMO every time.
My thing is he need to learn how to jump if he's gonna try to jump in the crowd again because he needed some help. It was to the point where players was like, "Man, just get down here and stop."
They had to help him up to get it to jump up there.
Well, that is basically it for the key stats, other than the fact 80 yards on the ground and 4.7 yards per carry for Gibbs. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 102 yards receiving. Another great job by him. Granted, he didn't get in the end zone, but it looked like they kind of
Yeah, we gotta
started
get Rob in
doubling.
the end zone, man.
They
We gotta get him
started
in.
doubling and tripling him and not letting him be open. They had to, because otherwise we'd have probably scored a 40 burger against Atlanta yesterday.
Yeah.
Hey, what happened? What happened to the Josh dude? Did he even play?
I didn't
Josh,
hear. He
Josh
played.
was in. He made a couple catches. He dropped one, and then I think his ankle started bothering him again, so they pulled him out to keep it from being an injury.
They come to talk about that was a bullshit holding call they tried to call him too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was some bullshit holding calls. There was some of this, some of that, but you know what? I'm not going to whine when we win.
Right.
Yeah.
Whining when we win. And Green got in the action somewhere around the third quarter. He came in for a couple of plays, but I think he was more for blocking downfield and a decoy because they know he has wheels. That's what opened up the underneath stuff. And then right after he went out was when we did that fantastic play action where Laporta was as open as JMO versus the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
And Marvin just was at home.
Marvin was there. What Marvin did that was good was blocking downfield. He was Gilmore was a healthy scratch again, and that bothers me with Jerry Jacobs being the pass interference machine he is. 6 penalties for 79 yards.
He's taking the Marnie Warrior role.
He's
Oh
making
my God! Don't bring that name up.
Wait.
Yeah, don't bring him
He's
up.
making AO look good last year because AO would only get 2 PIs a game, not 7.
Don't bring up AL. AL is not even playing right now with the Giants. He's hurt.
No, he got cut.
Oh, that's right.
He got cut in the preseason.
And let's talk about Cam Sutton, man. Let's talk about Cam Sutton.
Cam Sutton, all I know is I said put Cam Sutton on Drake London, let everybody else eat, and Glenn did it.
Yeah.
Finally. He just said, wherever Drake is, you follow.
And the one time they did throw at him, his technique was so sound. Like he read the ball, he knocked it away, he didn't grab anybody. Like Jerry Jacobs needs to watch that shit.
And I'm sorry, that first catch that Drake London had, the only catch he had in the game, shouldn't have been a catch because he pushed off.
Right. Oh, it wasn't egregious, but it was a push off.
Yeah. Leonard, don't play with us. He did not sign back.
Oh, you signed him back to the practice squad. I think we got to change
Cam's name to Cam Shutdown. What do y'all think?
Ooh, okay.
I still wish
he really didn't give him no big
plays. We had Cam's.
I still wish we'd have drafted Cam Smith in the draft so we could have had the perfect name for our secondary. Seatbelt gang's okay, but dual overhead cams when we're from the Motor City is so much better.
Cam Shutdown. If anybody takes that, I'm gonna. That's
all yours. It's all yours.
That's all mine. Okay,
Will is asking.
I'm not doing score predictions until the pregame show come Wednesday. I have a pregame show for the Green Bay game. This is a victory show. Let's relish in our victory. Focus on what we had. We went. Everybody said from the other fans in this, including Packer fans, man, Behan ran all over us. I said, I told you why. The right side of the Packers defense can't stop a cold in the run game.
Garbage. Garbage.
Well, we know where Gibbs is going to be running, or Montgomery,
or Reynolds, or whoever. Whoever runs the ball is going to go to the right. If you go to the left, you got to deal with Kenny Clark. You got to deal with Quay Walker, who's a solid tackler and came up big in that run defense. And then you got to deal with Eric Stokes, who's a better tackler than coverage guy.
I tell you what, if Green Bay doesn't have Jair for any reason, oh my God.
Jair was held out of practice for tonight. It was already listed. You showed
I think it might be precautionary. He probably
it may be precautionary. And if he does not play limited practice by tomorrow, he's going to be out.
Whew.
Whoever doesn't play if whoever doesn't play limited or full practice tomorrow, more than likely will be out at game time.
Yeah.
Well, we know our guys, Vaitai and Nelson are out for sure.
Yeah, Vaitai's out, but
everybody else practiced, so that's a good sign. That's a great sign.
Let me look at that again. I had that up. You had it in the chat, so I'll just go there and find it.
It was just Vaitai. It was just Vaitai and Nelson that were going to be out. Rag was getting rest.
Rag's had a toe rest,
and the rest was limited.
I agree with Leonard. Jaden Reed, he's starting. He's quiet. Leonard saying, we need to keep an eye on him. He's quietly and starting to shine.
That's probably where Jerry's gonna be guarding.
Okay, the guys that were out did not participate. Jair Alexander, Zane Anderson, the safety that was opposite Savage, David Bakhtiari, did not play. Devondre Campbell did not play. Rashawn Gary is in limited practice. Aaron Jones is in limited practice. Guard slash tackle Elton
Elton
Jenkins.
Jenkins.
Yeah, he didn't play. Zach Tom, offensive lineman, the backup to Bakhtiari, didn't participate. Uh, Cornerback Carrington Valentine, who is their nickel corner, he did not play. And Christian Watson is still out with his hamstring.
I don't think Watson's going to play, but I think Gibbs. I think Jones is definitely playing.
Oh, I think Jones is definitely playing too. But everybody said that we were going to have Behan run all over us. It didn't happen. Everybody said Kenneth Walker was going to run all over us. It didn't happen.
I'm not worried about Jones's running ability. I'm more worried about his passing ability. Like they can put him out in the flats. You know.
That's fair, but we didn't really. Most screens end up becoming run plays anymore with running backs because they catch it behind the quarterback.
Right.
We saw that with Algier and we saw that with Behan. Did it really hurt us?
That's when Brian Branch.
I was really worried about Bijan Robinson. The fact that we pretty much held him in check was very impressive.
I told you with the top 10 defense and who we faced so far, I was not scared of Behan, and I proved myself right.
Well, you go buy some lotto tickets, man.
I buy them every week. Otherwise, I'd be retired if I won already.
James Burgess is talking about Bakhtiari. Guess who wanted him when Rodgers? Guess who wanted him when Rodgers was still playing? Rodgers still wanted Bakhtiari.
Yep.
So there might be a trade looming with Bakhtiari to the Jets.
Not really, because Rodgers is out for the year. He can say what he wants. He's out for the year. He's 39 years old. No. It takes 20-year-olds 8 months to recover from an Achilles. He's not recovering till he's 42. I'm
saying when he was playing, he wanted him.
He can smoke all the weed he wants. He ain't gonna come back this season.
Right.
I think Cousins could get traded. I really do think that's a more possibility. They even had to report that they've been in talks trying to see if they can get Cousins. I mean, Minnesota's going to probably look at getting their quarterback in the draft. I think Cousins.
Here's a crazy stat for you. If the current trend for Kirk Cousins right now, because of the lack of run production there, do you realize if he averages what he's averaging through these first 3 games, he'll throw for 6,101 yards, 51 touchdowns, and only crazy. 11 picks.
Whew.
So you can't.
How many attempts did he have in the last game?
Say what?
How many attempts did he have in the last game?
I think he had more attempts than I've had bowel movements in the past 52 weeks.
Oh, God. Good answer. Did you think about that one for a while?
No, it was the first thing that came to my mind.
You pulled it out of your ass, no pun intended, right?
Yes, sir.
That's the silliest shit in a minute, bro.
You got Neil over here falling out of his chair.
That is hilarious, bro. That is hilarious.
Yeah,
man.
Kirk isn't the problem at all. But again, when it came to crunch time and he had to make a throw into that end zone, what'd he do? He threw a pick.
Hey, wait a minute.
You can say all of the time clock mismanagement and
he folded in the bright lights.
He folded in the bright lights.
Not to mention Hawkinson turned over the ball twice. He got stripped once, and then he a
tip to an interception off his hands to the other guy.
There you
go. Brad Holmes, I believe in you. Dodged a bullet with that one. Thank God you traded him, man.
Hey, doesn't Jets have the most primetime games?
Say what?
Doesn't the Jets have the most primetime games this year?
I think so.
Yeah, it was the Jets.
So if Cousins gets traded to the Jets, we'll see primetime Kirk.
Oh my God! If they weren't in so many primetime games, I'd have already made the trade. If I was,
they can still flex it and move it though. So a lot of them will be getting moved though. They got
and it doesn't get easier for them. They got Josh Allen coming to town.
Yep, and James Burgess says Hawk caused a few interceptions here in Motown too. Yes, sir.
T.J. Robinson.
And people was mad when we traded
the pick
TJ.
Wasn't all on him.
I'll say this about Brad Holmes. Outside of drafting, which we know he's the G on there, he is really good about looking forward in situations. And he saw that a Kuda injury situation, get him out. Right. He saw Hawkinson going to cost us way too much money, not worth it. We can get somebody cheaper, get him out. He saw a guy like DJ Chark, even though a young receiver, injury prone all the time. He's already out. DeAndre Swift, that one's still, he's doing good right now, but he probably will be hurt some poor amount mid-season. So he's looking ahead, and kudos to him for that.
DJ Shark had a good game yesterday too, even though the Panthers lost.
Ooh, they got him at 3rd and 4 at the Tampa Bay 24, so more than likely the Eagles are going to get another field goal unless they get this 4 yards.
Yeah.
Will made the comment earlier, and they were showing it. They had the 2 names, Kelsey and Swift.
Oh, yeah. Taylor Swift. Oh, man. Somebody put on the Facebook, the One Pride page, they put, like, the Bears must suck so bad because they're talking about fucking Taylor Swift so much. I was laughing my ass off when I saw that. Like, only the Bears would shut down CBS for the day, Like, literally, they went to nightly news early at 5 o'clock at night. I was, like, so surprised. I was like, wow, usually they have, like, another game. It was so bad. They're like, we're just going to shut it down for the rest of the day.
Yeah, Campbell did have a sack.
Yeah, he had a sack too.
Campbell had a sack. Benito Jones had a sack. Aleem McNeil had a sack.
Derek
Barnes
Barnes
had a sack. Who's the other one that had a sack?
Hutchinson.
What?
Hutchinson had 2 sacks.
Hutchinson had 2. That leaves one more.
Aleem McNeil.
Oh, Harris.
I said, oh yeah, Charles Harris, right?
Yeah, Charles Harris.
Harris had a sack.
Don't forget
And
your boy.
Then Aiden Hutchinson doing what he does. 4 solo tackles. 4 solo tackles. 2 sacks. A strip. And a recovery.
Dude, that spin move that Aiden did was dirty. That was dirty.
Yeah, he spun to the inside of the tackle. He had no recovery. He was like,
and he wasn't letting that guy out of sight. He was like, no, I got you, dude. I'm pulling you down.
That's what
I'm getting my sack.
That's what I mean about the stunting. We were doing different stuff than we did the first 2 games. The guys that were inside were going outside, and the guys that were outside were cutting into the A and B gaps. That type of stuff was amazing. This is what we wanted to see. Exotic blitz packages.
Do you think that was because the communication was a lot better, or just the fact that we had bugs in the middle?
I still think it was a combination of having bugs in the middle, and Aaron Glenn heard on the ticket when they read the first paragraph of my article about how I compared him to Matt Patricia through the first 2 games.
Wow.
All right, comment of the night. James Burgess. Travis Kelce hopes Taylor Swift sucks as hard as the Bears. Comment of the night, James.
I got something to say. Is it just me, or does this defense communicate better with Tracy Walker on the field than C.J. Gardner-Johnson?
Yes, you're right. But you know what? GJ does for this team that Tracy Walker doesn't? Tracy Walker is not a vocal leader.
Yeah, he
leads by example.
Yeah.
GJ has that swag. He talks that shit and backs it up with how he plays. So I would like to see our backfield be Walker and CJ starting.
Ooh.
Shout out to my boy Tracy Walker for doing your thing, man. For real, man.
Yeah, but you gotta catch that pick, bro. That hit you right.
Come on now. If that was 3 games into the season, he'd have caught all 3 of them.
Trust me, I was on his Twitter page. I said you owe me 2 picks.
He hasn't played in 17 games.
Right.
I like that hit he had on that tight end. Man. Put him on the ground.
When he put Pitts down? Yeah.
Then will we move Kirby into the nickel with Branch?
Who is our nickel? Is it?
It's Brian Branch.
It's Branch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Branch right now is the future of this team. I don't think we have to re-sign CJ.
Yeah, he does everything that CJ does, and he's younger and he's cheaper.
But the vocal.
I like the way.
Yeah, but you know what? Branch is already getting vocal as a rookie. He's letting his play show it, and he's talking in the locker room.
Not to mention, add Sewell there too. Sewell's becoming a real leader himself.
Do you know who helped Sewell become a leader?
Vitae?
No, it was Goff. Mm-hmm. Goff took him aside last season and said, if you want to be one of the best in this game, you got to be more vocal with the team. You should be a captain. You should not be someone that sits
He's
back
only
and let everybody.
22 years old. That's
Doesn't
crazy.
Don't matter.
that
That
don't
is
matter.
crazy.
His
I
level
love
of
it.
talent is head
I
and
love
shoulders above everybody but Ragnow.
I love it, but he's
Am
got
I
to stop
wrong?
holding, man. He's got to stop holding. He didn't have a good game, in my opinion.
Well, that's because he's not used to left tackle anymore.
Yeah.
He's played right tackle ever since week 8 of year 1 he was here.
Which is
they moved him-
ironic because he was drafted as a left tackle.
I understand.
When he only
But-
here, he was only in college for
Wait.
1 year, wasn't he?
No, he only played in college 1 year at right tackle. He was a left tackle, at left tackle. He was a right tackle in high school and the first 2 years he was at Oregon.
Mhm.
Wow.
So he actually has been a right tackle longer than he's been a left tackle.
I'm saying, man, he's the Otani of the NFL, man. He can do both. He can go both ways.
Yeah,
Both sides.
I would say go both sides. Don't say both
Both sides.
ways. That just
All right.
doesn't sound right.
I forgot. I thought you might be on defense. My bad.
Well, no.
Both sides.
A lot of our players now got that dog in them now, man.
Yeah.
Something we ain't had in years, man. For real, like.
So if Branch was playing the nickel, who was playing the strong safety behind with Walker?
It was iffy.
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 Oh, Iffy.
Iffy was
He
top
had a good
5.
game too.
But wait, did you guys see the new front office of the Bears AirPods? I'm
Oh.
quite sure Justin Fields is going to borrow it. Take a look at. Oh, I'm trying to get the angle. There you go.
Oh my God.
I
Does that vibrate too?
bet it does.
I tell you what, man. Let's give Iffy some flowers, man. Iffy
Iffy.
played well.
Let's give him laurels. You know, I don't like the saying flowers because flowers is what you give to a beauty queen. They call it the gridiron because it closely resembles gladiator combat with football. And when you won as a gladiator, you got the laurel,
All right, give
the wreath
him
of
his
leaves.
dap. Give him his dap. How about that?
There you
Give
go.
him his dap.
Give
There
it.
I'm done.
Hey, I did it. Bam!
I'm done.
He was pointing to the sky. He was like, there you go.
You gotta make you a clip of you doing that.
Hey,
But yeah,
I
no,
may
Iffy
be
played well, man.
53
If he
years
can play
old, but I'm up on the cool shit.
if he can play consistently, man, that's just more depth that we have.
That's exactly it. And the fact that Kirby Joseph is back practicing.
Yeah.
I love Kirby.
I love Kirby, but they've been using him wrong. They've been putting him more in that Joker role down in the box. They haven't letting him be doing the single high safety he
Yeah,
excelled
he's a
at
ball
last
hawk,
year.
man. Put
They
him
need
back
to keep
there.
him back there in zone coverage in the middle. Let everybody else be in man. Let him help do that center roamer like he did last year. Look at the quarterback eyes. Look at the wide receiver. He played wide receiver. See the route, jump the route, get the pick. That's what he did last
I'll
year.
say this about Kirby and Branch. They are very instinctual players. Like they just go play. Like they don't have to really think about it. They just go find the ball, or they're always around the ball.
James Burgess, you're absolutely right. One of my favorite NFL greats that most folks don't know, Bruce Matthews. He was the Iron Man of the league for the Titans. And previously before that, he played when it was the Oilers. So that man played every position on the O-line. He didn't miss a game through 13 years.
His son played on the other side for the Falcons. Jake Matthews, I think, or one of the Matthews brothers or sons.
Oh, you're just mad because you had Aaron Rodgers in fantasy, Leonard, last year.
I don't do fantasy.
Hey, and
bro.
still to this day, you know, I'm going to say it again. If you count his Achilles tendon, Aaron Rodgers had 5 snaps in the NFL this year, and his last completed pass in the NFL was the Kirby Joseph.
Kirby Joseph. Oh man!
And guess what? Guess who he completed it to the pass prior to that on the previous drive on first down?
All I know is
First
that
down in the red zone. It wasn't Kirby.
All I know is
Hutch,
that if you're superstitious, we better wear the all white unis.
We are
'Cause
wearing the all whites. I almost
because the
guarantee
the last 2 games on the road, we've won.
Yep. I believe we're wearing the all whites in Lambeau.
Ice them out, baby. Ice them out. Let's go.
Hey, next week we got the Raiders. We're gonna see our new helmets.
No, it's the Panthers.
Oh my god, I keep getting that mixed up.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be at that game, so I know when we're gonna play. Yeah.
James Burgess, we should all buy a gift card for Aaron Rodgers to Kirby's Conies. That being said, it's been a great show. I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to give a shout out to my boy up there in Saginaw who does window tinting, Gloss Negron. Look him up on Facebook. He tinted my car. He does a great job. Tell him you heard about him here. This has been Kneecap Biting with the Motor City Lions. Do you have a parting shot for us, Neil?
Just everybody, man. I'm ready for Thursday night. Is it Thursday yet? But I'm ready for Thursday night, man. We're gonna go in the Lambeau, man, and we're gonna shut it down, man.
Let's do it.
You also can look me up on my YouTube channel, man. Ohio State Lions. I'm an Ohio State fan. I'm a Lions fan. Ohio State Lions YouTube channel, man.
We won't hold the scarlet and gray against you.
Yeah.
Can't help it, bro.
He's on the fringe, man. He's on the fringe. He's
a Lions fan,
sides.
so we're good. So he doesn't like the Browns. He doesn't like the Bengals, and he didn't become a Bears fan. So I like him. But anyways, Nate, you got a parting shot?
Hey man, it's always great when we win. You know, everybody's happy, everybody smiles. You know, winning cures all. Let's keep the train rolling. It's back on the tracks again. All the people that jumped off are back on. So you know, let's do it, man. Let's keep it going.
No, don't put them off. We ain't letting them back on. I don't like the bandwagon people. There's not enough room. Kick them off. Like we don't.
All right, well,
like
they put them in front of the train so the train can run over them.
Yeah, like they can be part of the tracks, man. Like,
hey, look, Neil, my dad's one of the biggest Michigan fans I know, and he says great game against Notre Dame.
Yeah, that was a great game.
But
man, I ain't gonna lie. I was in Michigan hotel. I was in the Holiday Hotel in Michigan. Like, if they lose here and I'm in Michigan, man, I'm never gonna hear the end of this, man. So like,
Keegan,
man, thanks for letting me on your platform again.
Yeah,
man.
Keegan, what's your parting shot tonight?
Second best parting shot this week. I know Jeremy's number one. FTP.
Yes. Hey, put it in the chat, y'all. Let's see an FTP.
FTP.
And we aren't talking about Flores.
Green and yellow combined looks like shit.
That being said, I'm going to end
FTP.
this show.
Hey,
There
Will.
we go. Will. That being said, I'm going to end this show the same way I always do, right after I say one thing. Brian Branch, Defensive Rookie of the Year. To start the year was at plus 3,000. After yesterday's performance, it dropped to plus 1,600.
Let's go. Let's go. Ain't nobody playing as good as he is right now. Period.
Yes, Will. God, I hate when he does that. But anyways, try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts within here. This has been Kneecap Biting with the Motor City Lions, and we are